This may be too long for some people to read, but I had to share. This is the first time I'm posting anything online about this. I'm a 31-year-old woman, married, and recently moved back in with my parents due to moving back to the town I grew up. My husband and I are taking our time looking for our own place due to wanting something nice in the area that is usually hard to find. This story takes place in my parents' house starting back 10 years ago. A description of the house for a bit content. It's a two-story brick stone house in city limits, but still surrounded by nothing but woods. You have to go through a garage that leads into the kitchen, with the first bedroom to your left. Past the kitchen is the main living room, and to the right is the hall, and that is very open. And in this area, you will find the main dining room and second living area. But if you continue straight, you will see the staircase to your left. And even further straight is my parents' bedroom and bathroom. Going up the stairs, you will come to the third living area. And yes, this is a huge house with two sets of French doors side by side that lead to the outside balcony. Going straight, there's a sharp left that leads you to the other three bedrooms and two bathrooms. This is where the story takes place. The first time I stepped foot into the house, I immediately fell off, like something just wasn't right. I felt a presence, but I didn't know what or who it was. I brushed it off, thinking I was just reading too much into it. I continued to feel this for the next couple of years, and because of this, I didn't much enjoy visiting them. My parents liked to gamble a lot back then, so they would ask me to babysit my baby brother and sister. One day on the weekend, my boyfriend, now husband, loved them, so he would always babysit with them. The first few times, I really didn't pay attention to the feeling I would get because we would be busy playing or eating with the kids. After that, things kind of chilled out, and we would end up watching movies until it was time for them to go to bed. Now, my husband is a freak of nature. It's like he falls asleep the second he closes his eyes. Me, on the other hand, takes me forever to get comfortable, enough to wind down my mind. I also don't sleep even when I do finally get to sleep. This night was the first time I saw and heard something in the brand new house. In this room, the bed is facing the doorway, but not directly in front of it. With the doors open, you can see the front of the staircase and all the way down the hallway. As long as the lights is on, that is. That night, only one of the hallway lights was on. I was laying in bed with the TV on, but the volume down low, so I could hear if one of the kids called me. I was almost asleep when I heard one of my siblings coming down the stairs. I opened my eyes a bit and waited for them to go to the bathroom, but they never did. I don't think anything of it, so I closed my eyes and began to drift off again. A few minutes later, I heard it again, so I opened my eyes and waited, but again they never went into the bathroom. This time I sat up and listened, a bit spooked, but nothing I can't handle. I get a bit nervous, but still, I go check to see if they are there, and maybe they are scared to come all the way down or something. No one is there, confused and thinking I must be dreaming it up. So I go back to bed, this time closing one of the double doors. It was a few hours later, around 2:30 a.m., when I feel like someone is very near me, as if they are standing next to the bed right in front of me. Usually when I open my eyes, I will see the green glow of the alarm clock on the bedside table, but this time I saw nothing. It was pitch black. I couldn't even see the hallway light on, and on the TV had turned off on its own. I felt like I couldn't move. I was awake now and scared to my bones. I was finally able to call out my husband's name out loud enough to wake him. He reached over and turned on the light, and right then the scary feeling went away and I was able to move. I freaked out and started crying. I couldn't begin to explain to him what had happened, because even if I had, he didn't believe in those things. So I told him I was having a nightmare and asked him to go check on the kids. When he came back, he said the kids were fine and got back in bed. With the light on, I was able to fall back to sleep, but it took me forever. The next day, I told my mom about what had happened, and that's when she told me she had been hearing footsteps on the stairs at night and even saw someone standing by the door at times. She didn't tell anyone because she did not want to scare the kids. This is when she told me what she had done. She wanted to know what was going on in her house, so she went and bought a voice recorder. One day, she decided to use it. Went upstairs while everyone was gone. She asked your typical questions. Who is there? What do you want? And why are you here? And then you have passed away and you need to go into the light. You are not welcome here. The next day, she decided to leave the recorder in one of the bathrooms upstairs while it was recording for about 4 hours while she was out running errands. I asked if she had checked it, and to my surprise, she said she was too afraid to listen to it alone. I wanted to listen to it. We went to the computer and began listening to it after it was uploaded. During the 4 hours she was gone, you could hear something clicking or tapping, sounds of a drawer opening, closing, but we weren't for sure. Then we listened to it, the part where she was asking questions. Now you could hear a sound that resembled a fan or maybe a static throughout the whole thing, so some sounds were indistinguishable. But that one sound we did hear chilled us to the core. When she asked, "What do you want?" it gave us an answer. Changing my brother's name on it for this. The answer was Jamie. It didn't answer any other questions except for that one. I cried immediately. He wasn't having night terrors for no reason. Something was there for him every night. We soon asked a friend to cleanse the house. For a long time, everything had been okay. My brother stopped having night terrors. My mom was able to sleep comfortably, and all was good again. Until now, I have been living in this house for a month and a half. For the last 2 weeks, I have been seeing things everywhere, especially when I'm alone. Because of this, I won't stay alone anymore. I get this strong feeling of being watched. I had the feeling of someone pulling on my blanket at night. I think it is time for another cleanse. Oh, and just for your information, I'm on the third generation on my mother's side of the family that is able to see spirits. My dad's side of the family has it in the past. Before I was born, I practiced black magic. I don't like speaking to them. I won't dabble in any of that spiritual stuff. Most people do. I stay as far away from it as possible, and I recommend that you do too. Even if you are careful, these spirits can hunt for a long time, even after you're gone. So I'm sitting in the living room floor playing with my nephew. Mom's on the left couch and sister's on the right couch. My nephew has a toy piano that is made of cloth and can be folded up. This piano is behind us in the corner with my nephew's other toys. We're talking and watching my nephew attempt to walk with this piano, but it makes a sound. It's like someone is pressing the keys slowly. We stop and stare, then look at each other shocked. Then the keys are pressed rapidly until finally shuts off on its own. Mom and I are not scared. My sister is terrified due to something happening to her last night around midnight.